Hey everybody, how are you? It's Peter again for MLB Trade Rumors and Discussions. It is Saturday, March 28th, 2020. Keeping this going every single day for the rest of the year, just like I promised you guys. Today, alphabetically, we are up to the Washington Nationals, your reigning champions of 2019. The Washington Nationals last year surprised everybody, right? They came out of nowhere. They were looking bad the first few months. Everybody just said, wow, this team, they lost Bryce Harper, so just they're not going the right direction, right? They're slowly going to do. They got a couple good players coming up. A great player in Soto. They had a good player in Randon at third base, and then they had a fantastic pitching staff. But it just seemed like they never had enough. It can either Scherzer and Strasburg couldn't stay healthy at the same time. Strasburg just either couldn't get it done. There was always an issue, right? But they made a big signing for Corbin from the Diamondbacks, right? Who was okay with us some years and really good some others, but fit in Washington. They invested a lot. Mike Rizzo did a wonderful job because Rizzo knows exactly what he's doing. He did this with the Diamondbacks when they won the championship. He knows pitching is important, and he invested very well. And it came out of nowhere, shocked everybody, won the wild card, and then came out of nowhere to win the championship to beat the Nationals. Nobody wants a part of the Nationals if they're in three game to in a best of five series because facing those three pitchers in Scherzer, Corbin, and Strasburg is just insane, right? It's just a hard three pitchers to pitch, and then all of a sudden came out of nowhere was Anibal Sanchez, who looked like he rejuvenated his career somewhat and pitched well. But what was even more insane last year was they got out of the light of having to worry about Harper all the time and him doing stuff. So what they did was they had an amazing rookie in Soto, and they had a fantastic job done by Anthony Rendon at third base. On top of that, they had Howie Kendrick played so well in the playoffs. It was just a combined team effort between Turner and another Diamondback and Adam Eaton. It was just crazy. And another Diamondback and Daniel Hudson. It was just shows you that the Diamondbacks had a lot of guys. If you put the right team on, the Diamondbacks were doing well. Just sometimes you just gotta know where these guys fit and build it right. Otherwise, you're wasting these guys' talent because it goes to show you some of these guys in Scherzer and them, I don't know how Scherzer's career would have been if he stood in Arizona. It was almost like he found it in Detroit. Anyway, fast forward to this year to the Washington Nationals. What do we expect from Washington if there is baseball, which there should be? I expect pretty much more of the same. The only problem I would have is that two things. Is Scherzer and Strasburg healthy, right? Scherzer had some issues in spring training. If they're healthy, let's assume they are healthy. Right automatically, they go right back to the same whole shit. Who the hell wants to play these guys, right? But they lost a big guy in Randon. That was their guy who destroyed last year. He was in the meat of the order. He was doing well. So who takes his place? They made a signing for two guys. They got Eric Thames at first base, which is okay, good move. To me, Matt Adams and they're all the same. Thames is going to hit you 25 to 28 home runs, most likely bat you 230 to 250. Not a bad ball player at all. I like the move for Starlin Castro. Castro can play a couple positions. Always just the guy who's always putting up solid numbers. It's not going to be Rendon numbers, but he can play well. Look, when Harper left, nobody expected them to win. Not that Harper's that great of a player at all. To me, he's just okay. But I like what they did. I like that they didn't spend the money on that, and they're investing. They pretty much put a lot of the same players on the field. And Washington, right, they're going to come back at you with the same bullpen, the same pitching staff. They're going to try it again. If you remember the Diamondbacks with Rizzo in 2001, they won. The next year, they had almost pretty much the same thing coming at you. And if it wasn't for injuries, they made the playoffs in 2002. They did really well. But injuries caught up with them. So things are going to happen. You don't know. Who knows how it's going to stay healthy. But the Nationals, I don't think they can beat the Dodgers again, even if they played them. I don't see that happening. I don't see it's very difficult for a team to go back to back. It just is, regardless of how great. You can look at Boston, look how Sale had that amazing year, and then look what happened. He couldn't stay healthy. However, Washington fans, nobody expected this. So does Washington have a chance this year? Absolutely. When you have a pitching staff to the caliber of Scherzer, who can win 20 games, Strasburg can win 20, Corbin can win anywhere between 15 to 20, and Anibal Sanchez can win anywhere between 10 and 14, right? When you have that, you always have a shot. You always. So, and baseball's better when these guys stay healthy, right? Turner, fantastic at shortstop. Guy's a 300 ball player, fast, gets on base all the time. You got Castro at second, probably going to bat you 280 with 20 home runs if they play that many games in baseball, right? They're going to go with, Dames on first base, and they'll platoon with him. And the catcher, you're still going to stay with Gomes and Suzuki, the same thing. In third base, it's a big difference when you lose a guy like Randon, but somebody else has got to step up, right? Somebody else has got to step up for hitting. It just happens. When Harper left, somebody else had to step up, and that's it. But Randon's leaving a big hole at third base, and I think the guy who's going to do really well this year is Victor Robles. Victor Robles is a solid ball player, and he showed really glimpses of him last year, and he's just going to do better and better. Soto's just going to continue to get better. So, and then Eaton, that's another guy. He has to stay healthy because it shows you when I've always been a bigger fan of him than Pollock. And if he stays healthy, he's always going to do something. He's annoying. He keeps fouling off pitches. He gets on base. He'll get you doubles. He'll get you triples. Good ball player. That's it for today. That's it for the reigning champs. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.